Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another week of racing. Yes, it's Rush Racing League, round number 5 at the lovely Belgium Spa Grand Prix. This is going to be a good one. A track that I absolutely hate, but I love to commentate it and watch it. And it's going to be a very interesting night. Everyone this week is at Spa. There is no change. So every single person will be able to get all their strategies on point. It's going to be very, very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And the main man in the comms box, yet once again, Andy Owen, mate, welcome.
Good evening, SJ, and good evening, everybody else as well. Good to be back as we tackle... you said you don't particularly like this track. I have to say, I'm not an enormous fan of driving it myself either. I never seem to do well here, especially in that little technical section. You know, getting your setup right to get the front line speed down the Camel Straight and then into that technical section never works for me, my friend. Too many undulations in elevation for me.
I'm sure we'll get the hang of it. But it's a track that does give some of the best racing that we've seen in Formula One, in real life as well, and in the game. Obviously, the bus stop chicane, No Name, Pouon, so many areas, and obviously up Radion and Eau Rouge as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of overtaking. The question is tonight: are we going to see a lot of working together the teams? 19 on the grid tonight, unfortunately, one missing out, unfortunately, right at the end there, which is unfortunate. But 19 on the grid, really, really good turnout for Division 1. Best turnout we've had probably all season. I think we're going to have some good teamwork from most of these guys, and quite a few new names as well, which I'll go through in a second with you, Andy.
Yeah, it's always interesting on... at Spa from a teamwork perspective. It's one of the tracks where it really does benefit you all the way down that long Camel Straight, and of course you've got the long through Stavelot, Blanchimont down to the bus stop as well. You've got that long drag that you can do a little bit of assistance in. It's going to be really interesting to see which of these teams work together. We've seen some great teamwork and some other not so great teamwork over the first month of the season, so it'll be interesting to see how we get on.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting night. I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing what Division 1 have got. It's been a very, very interesting season. A lot of different winners as well. So, yeah, looking forward to it. But who have we got on the grid tonight? Well, let me tell you who we've got. We've got Miles Mallet in the Williams. We've then got Spinella King in the RB. We've got Evie Lucas in the McLaren. And then also Alpha Gully, known as Rochette Stag. We've got Keefe in the Kick. Jono in the... Ferrari, SGC Sesavai in the Alpine, Watanabe in the Aston. Then we've got Wog and Hado, GeForce Nick, and Hado in the Haas. Danger in the Red Bull. Alphonse Violent, first ever appearance. I can't believe it. Oh, it's hurting my eyes, Andy. CPI Max Macias as well, who has just joined CPI. So welcome to him. He's a new driver and an engineer as well. So we'll look forward to seeing how he gets on. We then got Mareki Don reserving very, very late there for Ferrari. Nail Gia again, so he is really interested himself because he's 2 races in a row that he's now participated in, which is really good to see. JD My Mr. Thunder in the Aston Martin. Oscar Piastrigo in the Merc. Ooh, interesting. And we've got Chandler's, and then we've got Shifty Wizard reserving up in the Williams as well. So quite a lot. A few new drivers and a few drivers jumping into reserve for their fellow division in Division 2, Andy.
Yeah, real good turnout again this week. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get the final guy in. But good turnout. Good mix of grid. And, yeah, we've got somebody just about to cross the line to set the first lap of the day. And it's Hado with a 1:43.757. So, yeah, first lap on the board. Really looking forward to seeing who's going to challenge Wojtek Steg this week. But yeah, looking forward to seeing Alphonse Wellin drive for the first time. Max Macus, I'm looking forward to seeing him. And of course, Niall Gio on his return this week as well.
Yes, and also Evie Lucas as well, and obviously McLaren look like they've got a very, very strong lineup tonight, which was going to be very, very interesting as well. And also seeing some times there, 1:42.483 at the moment. Big news though, with the channel points, Andy. I think we've just seen it at the top. Dynasty Sparrow has redeemed 100,000 points for the first round of season 9 at Jeddah for round 1. Breaking news. Absolutely breaking news there. So round 1 is going to be Jeddah. And we're going to pin that. And we're going to pin that for... Yeah, we'll pin that until we need to. Well, there you go. The Saudi Arabia is round number 1 for season 9, Andy. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, do you know what? I'm a big fan of Jeddah. One of my favourite tracks to drive. Love Sector 1, so looking forward to seeing these boys tackle that at the beginning of next season.
Well, absolutely fantastic. So there you go. So if you get your channel points right up, guys, then you get to choose, obviously, some of the tracks, which is really, really cool. So here we go. We've got a few guys on laps at the moment. Are we going to see people starting to work together in Q2, do you think, Andy? Or is this just going to be a session that these guys are just going to go on their own, see how they do, and then work together in Q2?
I think what we'll see is just guys getting out, getting the lap down, getting the bankers in, and then perhaps working together as we get into the second half of Q1. What you don't want, certainly if you look at the two Mercedes right now with no time set at the bottom, the two Aston Martins, the two Red Bulls, that would tell me that they're probably going to head out together a little bit later on, utilize Kemmel Straight and Blanchimont into bus stop after Curve Paul Frere. As now Gio sets an incredible 41.7 early doors in Q1. So yeah, I think it'll be a little bit later on in Q1 when we see a couple of teammates perhaps languishing in the bottom 4 as it will be.
It is. Who do we jump on board with for an outlap? Who do we go on board? We've got Keithy, we've got Watanabe, we've got Danger, we've got JDMI. Who do we jump on board with, Andy, to give the audience a bit of a go of Belgium?
Watanabe's just starting a lap, I think.
All right, okay. So he's coming to turn number 1, coming down the main straight, getting very, very closely there to the Haas. Hasn't seen the time yet, so here we go. Up a Rouge, going all the way, as much acceleration as he can, rides a little bit of the curb, getting up into gear 8, getting onto the DRS now. This is where we are going to see a lot of overtakes, and we possibly will see the toe from teams that will work together. Coming up there, nicely done, getting onto the curves very well. Very easy to invalidate here, so got to be very, very careful. And here we go, coming into the lovely hairpin, which is probably the worst hairpin of the track itself. Then coming into No Name, and then we're going to be going into Buon as well very, very shortly. Very, very fast track. A lot of places to make mistakes, a lot of places to invalidate. Oh, he gets a little bit wide there. Very nicely done so far. Needs to be saving at least 50 to 45% ERS on that last bit there. Ooh, could the Merc get a... Good impeding there. I think he just got out of the way just in case, but here we go. Watanabe's going to burn everything he's got in that car from 35. You can see it down to 25%. Want to leave around about 15% on the last corner, but here we go. Coming up to the bus stop chicane. Very, very shortly. Here we go. Watanabe, what is it going to be? He has struggled in quali all season. Is this going to be the start of something new? Crossing the line, and it does a 1:42.652. That is a very good time there from Watanabe, Andy.
Yeah, I really like that lap. Showed some real courage by utilising some of the curbs, certainly through bus stop chicane. I don't think I've ever seen somebody use that much of the inside first half of that chicane. But yeah, showed a lot of bravery throughout the course of that lap. Took some great lines, and yeah, he's put down a fantastic marker to be sat in P6. His teammate JDMI, Mr. Thunder, just coming into bus stop next. He'll come across the line very shortly. This looks like a decent time as well. Yeah, best his teammate to go second and a provisional, well, I was going to say provisional front row, but it is only Q1, of course. But yeah, 42.3 from JDI, Mr. Thunder. Strong showing from Aston Martin tonight, mate.
Yes, a very, very strong showing there as well. It's definitely really good to see, and really, really good to see some of these guys really putting in the time and the effort. A lot of guys going on the softs. We've got 15 guys currently at the moment on those soft compound tyres, only 3 guys on the medium. So, and that is actually Alpha Gully, who still hasn't set the time, Jono hasn't set the time, and also Zissify. So, we've also got Midas Mello as well, who's just about to finish up. So, still got Midas, Spinella King, Gully, Jono, Zissify, and Max Macias still to set times at the moment. So yeah, this is a bit of a worry for a few of these drivers because they have not set times. So is that Red Bull on the lap? That's going to be the interesting thing. Hopefully not. Just keeping an eye on there. I think Danger is on the lap, isn't he? Here he is on the lap. Oh, he invalidated. That will be one to look at maybe by the stewards, but we'll have to wait and see. But right, who do we go on board with? Let's jump on board with Spinella King. Andy, I'll take it over to you, mate, for a flying lap on Spinella King in P15.
Yeah, the V-Carb crosses the line to begin his first hot lap of the night. Into turn 1, he goes then down the hill towards Eau Rouge, ready on and up the hill, of course, through Eau Rouge he'll go now. The dip down at the bottom, then the big climb up the hill gets a little bit out of shape there coming up. I don't know whether that's just steering input. Down the Kemmel Straight he goes, looking for something around about the 208, 209 mile an hour mark. Peaks at 210, then that quick flick into Le Combe. Malmedy he goes, nicely done there as well. A little bit of curb on the outside, got to be careful of that one. But then into Rivage. As we said, we talked about it before. A slightly irritating hairpin, it has to be said. No Name, then down the hill again towards Pouon, or Double Gauche, as it was previously known. And again, yeah, seems like steering input may be an issue here for the V-Carb, but he's going down the hill towards Le Fagnes. He'll then go into Stavolo, and then, of course, Curve Paul Frere, before he makes that long run, saving plenty of battery, only on medium deploy right now. So 70% in the tank, in the battery, ready to go. Set to 114.4, not too sure how competitive that was, as EVA Lucas goes second. Piling through the battery, goes all the way down to 20%, and now it's the run down towards through Blanchimont, into chicane, turns 18 and 19. What will he throw down? Feels relatively okay, should be in the 42s. Yeah, 42.2 goes third fastest from Spinella King. Good lap from the V-Carb, SJ.
Yeah, great lap there. And 3 brand new drivers all at the top 3 there. Nausea, very impressive lap there. 41, only car tonight in 41, so 5 minutes to go. And also Lucas as well, doing a better job than his teammate of Gully tonight. So, but Gully has put himself up there in P6 on those medium compact tyres. So has Jono as well. And Max Maximus has actually retired, not even set a time. So that will be investigated to the onboards there. Very unfortunate for Max Maximus there, not setting a time. So that will be an interesting interview to have a chat with. He is the first elimination of the night. What do you think's gone wrong there with the Mercedes driver of Maxi?
Well, I was on board with him during an outlap. So when he was the car that seemed to be getting in the way of the Red Bull, seemed to have quite a few connection problems. Was very glitchy going round through Spa there when Danger was behind him. So I don't know whether he's just decided to try and fix his connection or something. But yeah, I agree. Strange time to be deciding you've had enough. I had to have a quick check to make sure he'd not crashed out.
Well,
are we going to see some teamwork from the... No, we're not, because Wojciech Steg has invalidated, so we're not going to see any teamwork there. I thought we might see some teamwork between Curve Paul Frere and Bus Stop, but McLaren's on different strats.
Yeah, it's very interesting there. We've off to retirement already, so that is unfortunate. But Zessify, Midas, and Hado and Spiller, he's happy with his lap, so he's decided to retire. So we'll have to wait and see there. But Hado, Midas, and Zissify are in the drop zone. Could be a little bit of a worry at the moment. 3 minutes to go. Midas Mella is got an opportunity to go through. Some good times here. I'll tell you something. Every single car from P2 all the way down to P14 are all in the 42s.
Yeah, only a second covering the top 30. So interesting stuff, mate. And I think there's a little bit of information trickling through from the paddock. It may be that actually Max Marcus was out on a lap and there may well have been some contact with a Ferrari. So that will be investigated, no doubt, by the stewards later on down the line. So that's the news coming down from the paddock. There was contact between a Ferrari and a Mercedes.
Interesting to see there. Well, obviously, we'll find out what the verdict is. Just to give you a bit of an insight or an update, Andy, driver of the day has been scrapped. We are still doing the voting system. Unfortunately, there was a bit of confrontation and friction between drivers and TPs, and we tried to implement something. Unfortunately, it just hasn't worked. It is what it is. So we are going to be going back to driver of the day. We will still be using the voting system, but it will just be. That's it. There's no points at the end of it or anything. There will be a reward at the end of the season. We've got to come up with an idea of what that's going to be. So, Driver of the Day Season Award. Whoever has got the most Driver of the Day will win a little award at the end. I know it's probably a little bit unfortunate for yourself because I know you're probably enjoying it as well. As, before I do hear your reply from that, Maraki Dawn retiring in P13. Is that enough? That's going to be the question. That is going to be the question indeed. So has Shifty Wizard. Is GeForce, Kifi, Kato, or Midas going to be able to beat those times? If they do, then Midas has just pushed Maraki Don into P14. We could see Shifty and Maraki Don in trouble, retiring a little bit too early here, Andy. But yeah, just wanted to put your thoughts on the process of scrapping Driver of the Day points.
Yeah, first, I think the two guys there, Shifty and Maraki Dom, just didn't quite have enough time to get back round again to do another flying lap, so just decided to call it a day. So that may well be there, and I think you're right. I think they're under pressure now. So Nick, Keith, Hado, and Zexify, I would imagine, will have something to say about this going out the bottom four now, or bottom three. Yeah, driver of the day. Yeah, do you know what? I kind of get that. I suppose it becomes slightly subjective. I do enjoy driver of the day. I think it's a good thing. But yeah, if we're going to use a voting system in the chat, if we choose 4 drivers between us, for people to have a vote on, I think that's fair. But yeah, I can understand why people might have been a bit edgy about an extra point if team principals are involved. But it is what it is, mate. And I think if there's a little bit of uproar in the camp, then I think that's a fair decision that we've made here at Rush Racing League as usual.
Yeah, it's a shame because trying to implement things that want to work, but 2 points it could be the be and end all of a championship, And I just want to say here that McLaren, Haas were probably the ones that suffered it the most. I think they lost about 8 to 9 points just because of driver of the day. So makes a massive change in the standings, but it is what it is. Yes, that is Rage Quit in the comms, Rose. So I'm would say that you know each other. But first of all, we got Keithy coming around the last corner. Is he going to make it through into Q1? Yes, he is. He put Shifty down into P15. Marekidon is out of Q1. Can Hado and Zissify do anything to change this? Look at that. A lot of drama going on tonight. We've lost Max already.
Oh, Hado.
Zissify is not going to make it through, unfortunately. So is another one that has been eliminated. And is Hado not going to make it? No, he's actually invalidated, so he is out. And Maraki Don is out as well. So drama is, I think Shifty Wizard could be through just at the final hurdle there. And we will jump on board with these guys for a quick chat. But there you go. I think there's only 4 of them that go out tonight, isn't it? Maraki, Zissify, Hado, and Maximus. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
retired.
right, mate. Haydo just made a mistake coming out of Lefania and Stavolo. Just edged over, and then he compromised his line, and that was it. He was done.
That is massive. I'm just looking at the time between Mareki Don and Shifty Wizard. It's a 142.723 and a 42.724.
Yeah, 1,000th in it, man. That is close. We love
That
close
is.
battles. And
That is.
qualification here is beginning to tighten up a little bit, SJ. I think each week it just seems to be getting a little bit closer. 9/10ths between P1 and P16. Incredible stuff.
Definitely, and we are going to see the end of this. But we do have a few of these guys jumping in to have a quick chat with us, so we will be interviewing them in a second. But we'll just have to hear what they've got to say. But first of all, we'll just go for the classification results. Niall Gio there taking P1 in Q1 session going into Q2. So a very impressive time from him. 3.5 tenths quicker than P2 in Lucas with a 42.109. Then the top three is Sabina King in P3 with a 42.221 going all the way down. And here are your eliminations. Raki Don, Zesify, Hado, and Maximus all eliminated from Q1. Shifty Wizard getting through by 1,000th of a second. Absolutely phenomenal. Always love to see a battle, and we're going to see a fantastic battle going into Q2. But Andy, we've got some interviews, and we've got Hado and Potato in the comms box. I'll take it away with yourself.
Right then, Haydo, let's check in with your good self first. I was just on board there as you were on that lap. I'm just coming through sector 2. Just seeing you lost the back end coming through turns 12 and 13. Just talk us through what the problem was there in terms of getting a proper time down.
Um, Really, the problem was I haven't done any practice. I hopped on the game probably 2 hours ago for another league race in Vegas, so not the best track to acclimatise to. Um, so yeah, a bit of that and some setup issues. I was
Right.
changing it on the go, so rough start.
Yeah, rough start here, mate. But plenty of opportunity to overtake at Spa. Certainly through Sector 3 and, of course, Camel Straight with a little bit of DRS. In terms of your setup, then, what kind of setup are you running wing-wise?
So yeah, at the start of qual, I loaded up, and it's a September setup, so very old. It was a 15.3 wing, so very high. Not good for the straights. I changed the front wing down to about 7 or 8.
Huh?
It was going good. I was up almost a second, and then I don't know. The car didn't go off track, but it invalidated me in that exit of the chicane, so I'm out. And I guess now I just got to push on. I know what I can do here.
Yeah, so it will just be about getting your head down and focusing up, of course, as usual, and displaying a little bit of composure. What's your hopes? What's your minimum takeaway from the race? What do you want to do apart from finish?
Uh, um, Look, anywhere in the points would be good. I know I'm good at pressuring people into mistakes. That some people know me as being pretty aggressive with dive bombs or late moves, so they, try to defend a bit hard, and then I just sneak through. So try to do that as best I can, but big goal is to beat Shifty Wizard.
Big goal to beat Shifty Wizard. That's what we love to hear. A little bit of on-track rivalry after he beat you by 1,000th of a second. No, he didn't. He beat somebody else by 1,000th of a second, but it was close anyway.
Yep.
Shifty Wizard he went through. Um, Lovely stuff, mate. I'll pass you over onto SJ, pal. Good luck for the race.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey no, mate. That's unfortunate. Obviously, to go out, it's good to see. Obviously, jumping up, and obviously, it's been a very difficult season. Obviously, would probably say, in some areas, not your fault. So tonight is probably a good way to obviously beat your rival there in Shifty, but to also score some good points. You obviously got your driver of G-Force Nick that's made us through into Q2. What's the morale feeling like in this race for tonight for between you and G-Force?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think this is a strong track for Nick. So, as long as he stays out of harm's way, like avoid as much as possible any incidents, and you know, you know what, like especially around a track like Spa where it's so fast, but it's also so slow with the middle section with where you need your downforce. Like, if you can just get those chances, I think like your morale will just keep rising. Like, it's just one of those tracks where it's either it's just not there at all or it just keeps growing.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It's a track that you're going to see a lot of overtakes, and obviously it'll be interesting to see what we're going to see in obviously Q2 and Q3 with the toes, with the teammates, which I'm going to say from your point of view, that's been a very big thing, hasn't it? Going into obviously implementing full quality this season, which I think is doing absolutely phenomenal. A lot of people are really, really enjoying it, really pushing that car to the max to try and get that P1 position. How are you finding all of these teams working together and doing the tow in each qualifying session?
Oh yeah, look, it's amazing to see. Like, even just watching it from in the garage or when you're knocked out, like it just looks good. It's it's good to see the teamwork and just the flying colour like formation coming in. Unfortunately, I haven't had many opportunities to do that with my teammates, especially in Div 2. Don't want to name names, but some people know. Yeah, it's if you get it down pat and you get that exact perfect gap, it just works.
Yeah, well, this is going to give you an eye for tomorrow, for tomorrow's night, because obviously you're back here again tomorrow. So this will give you a bit of practice, and yeah, wish you all the best in the race, my friend, and good luck to obviously G-Force. Hope he makes it into Q3.
Thank you.
All right, Andy, over to our next one in the comms box.
Yeah, who we got in the comms box now? Potato? Potato. Good evening, Potato. Hope you're doing really well, my friend. Not as well as you could be doing though. Out in Q1, just talk us through what happened there. Was it a mistake or is it just a lack of practice? What's the reason you're not through?
Um, it's mainly just a lack of practice because I didn't know I was gonna be racing tonight because
Mhm.
PlayStation was acting all weird. Said I didn't have PlayStation Plus, so that was no online service. So I didn't know if I was gonna race tonight. So I was just like kind of out of it, because I would have practiced, but I didn't know if I was racing or not. And then I got the late call from Ferrari, so I was kind of like, oh well. And then yeah,
But
lack of practice.
you're here now. You're here now, and obviously you're going to be starting towards the rear after going out in Q1. What's your hopes for the race then? And I'll ask you the same kind of question. Have you got a setup that's built for Sector 1 or a setup that's built for Sector 2? Or both?
It's kind of both. I was kind of messing with it because the cars feel different to me, in my opinion. They all don't feel the same, so it's kind of like you gotta have different setups for each car. Not all cars you can run the same setup and it works the same. But my setup works for both. But I'm still messing with it just a little bit. But I'll see what I can do with it. I don't think I'm gonna finish like in the far back like that because it's Spa. It's not hard, but just I would just have to lock in and then something out, pull something out the box.
Yeah, no, for sure, mate. And again, like I said to Hado, the opportunity to pass here is pretty good. Down the Camel Straight and then Blanchard onto bus stop. So yeah, good luck for the race, my friend, and hope to see you progressing nicely through the field.
Thank you.
Yeah, Potato, mate. Obviously, a little bit of a last hurrah, wasn't it? Right at the end, obviously, unfortunately, Big T was out tonight due to unforeseen circumstances right at the end, and obviously got the late call. And sometimes You know, it's those late calls put you a little bit under pressure in a track like this, which we've seen very, very fast and technical in some areas as well. So, how do you feel about the track in itself? Do you feel that from the back it's a good strategy going into turn one? You're going to be able to see mistakes happening, and obviously you're going to get the long toe up the Rouge going into Radion as well. How are you feeling about the track in itself?
The track itself, I mean, it's not the best, especially on controller, but I mean, it's a good track. I like it. But turn one going down into Radion and all that kind of stuff, I think I can probably get a better exit than some of these people, and then probably make up more places going in. There's gonna be a lot of mistakes made. Someone's probably gonna go and like collateral into everybody. So I just gotta hope I'm not a part of it. You know?
Yeah, well, things can happen. Things can happen, and you can get away with it. And I wish you all the best. I've seen this is your time to shine, Potato. We've seen a lot of you in the reserve program. You're really pushing in there. You're really pushing it, and it was a really, really good race. Actually, it was very unfortunate for Shaggy and Psycho, and I think yourself enjoyed that with Satsi as well. The other night, it seemed like a really, really good four-way battle until there was a bit of a spin at the end. So, it seems like you got a little bit of competition in the reserve program as well. So, it's going to be really interesting to see what you can do on the track with these guys tonight, and obviously in the big team Ferrari as well. So, big points up for grabs. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Long pause.
Yeah. Sorry.
The long pause, mate. It's like, did it scare you?
No, I just don't know what to say.
You can say whatever you want.
But yeah, I'll probably do more in the race. Just look out for me, you know. Don't forget that I'm down there.
Awesome. We will
You
do.
worry, my friend. We'll make sure we cover everything off.
Okay. But yeah, I'll do better. Trust.
Good man. Good man. All right. Okay. So we've got a lot of comments going on there. People are talking about the incident now. Well, the situation there that happened with Hado, and then obviously some community chat as well. So hopefully we can keep that on the low. PG, guys, PG. But Q2 at the moment, we got 4 minutes 26 to go. And Gunny is leading at the moment for 141.477. It's looking very tight between the top three there. Naugio with a 141.570 and Alfonso with a 141.868. At the moment, it looks like Danger, Midas, Spiller, G-Force, and Keithy are going out, and looking likely very interesting. Are we seeing any teamwork at the moment, Andy?
Not that well, there's nothing happening really on track right now, this very moment in time. There's only a couple of cars out, and I don't actually know whether they're on laps. They might be on in laps. Just checking in with Lucas. Lucas is actually just setting up for a lap right now. So this may well be his last run. He cuts the final corner and actually dives into the pit. So he's going to leave it a little bit too late. He will come under pressure. There's not a great deal of time between himself and the elimination zone, only 3 or 4 tenths. And we know that a little bit of track evolution here in the final throwings of Q2 can easily get you those tenths. Midas and Danger, of course, not setting laps yet. Midas just heading out for an outlap alongside JDI, Mr. Thunder, and Watanabe. Their first sign of potential some teamwork as the two Aston Martins head down the Kemmel Straight for their final outlaps. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we do get a little bit of teamwork here, SJ. What's your thoughts on then who is at risk? We've obviously seen some real quick times. Wojciech Steg qualified on a set of mediums in Q1, and he's really made the soft tyre sing a particularly nice harmony here in Q2, having taken almost a second off his Q1 time into Q2. What's your thought process on who's going out here, SJ?
Well, at the moment, you've got Samila King with a 143, so he's in a little bit of trouble. Obviously, Wagger's going to have to push as well. Keithy's going to have to push. Shifty could get drawn back into that again. This is going to be very tight. 2 minutes to go. Minus still hasn't set a time yet. Danger hasn't set a time, so that's a little bit of a worry because they haven't put times on the boards yet, so we don't know what the pace is like. Things are starting to starting to gear up now. Are we going to see some teamwork going into Q2 at the moment? I'm looking at the kicks too far away. Looking at the Williams. I think they're quite close together a little bit. One has. It's going to be interesting, and I think this is going to be very, very tight on who goes through and who goes out, Andy.
Yeah, the two Aston Martins just going through Eau Rouge up ready on right now. There may be too much of a gap for the teamwork to work too much, as JDMI is probably 5, 6, 7 tenths down the road in terms of time, but they plough down through. Watanabe, the latter of the two cars, is a tenth in front of his time, loses the back end though, going in through Lecom and Malmedy. So that might compromise him, and that tenth he made up in Sector 1 might have disappeared at the start of Sector 2 as he loses the front end off the curb and he's in the wall. He is done in terms of time setting. Got to be careful here. Two cars approaching, so he's got to be careful as the V-carb does indeed go through. So Watanabe will not set a quicker time. It'll be down to the Aston Martin of JDI Mr. Thunder here as he heads through Stavolo and through Curve Paul Fred on that long run now through turn 16, 17, Blanchemont down towards that bus stop. And he'll be the first car to complete his session for the day. Then a whole host of cars out on a lap. And Midas, Mellor and Danger, I'll just check in with those guys in a second. Obviously, they're really at risk because they've not set a time yet. But here's JDI, Mr. Thunder, then on that run down to the line and does improve by 4 tenths to go up to P4. Looks safe. Midas Mellor's coming around the final turn. What can Midas put in? Plenty of battery left. 24% left. Burns the battery. Is he going to do enough? Up to P6. Danger. Danger's early in his lap.
There's been an incident there. Watanabe is, someone's lost it. And Sabina King has been, there's a big incident there between the Aston Martin of Watanabe and Sabina King. And Sabina King is going to go out due to that incident there. So this will be an interesting conversation to talk about. And that is going to be looked at by the onboard steward there. Incident involving Q2, Sabina King and Watanabe. Danger, though, could be going out. This is really starting to heat up. Keithy is going into P12. Is he going to be able to make it through? No, he's not. He is out of Q2. That's very unfortunate. Shifty Wizard's going to have another opportunity. So is GeForce Nick. Is GeForce Nick going to be able to make it through? He's going to have to really push it. It doesn't look like. Let's have a look. No, he is out. Shifty, last chance for him. Is he going to be able to make it through? He was 2 attempts up. This is going to be tight. Yes, he does. He goes into P9. That puts Chandler's down in the drop zone. Chandler's is down into P11. Is he going to go out? No, he doesn't. That puts Watanabe down. Shifty goes out. Wow. Look at the change of people that went out. It was up, down, and they've all gone out. Well, there you go.
That was a wild finish to the session, SJ, with Shifty, Keithy, GeForce Nick, and Spinella King. Obviously, Spinella, unfortunately, getting tangled with Watanabe, as you say there, as he was just about to try and start his lap. But yeah, lots to change there. Chandler's almost out, but manages to squeeze through by about 1/10 and a half, running side by side with the Red Bull of Danger as they come round on their in lap. I don't know whether they're under computer control or not. I think they probably are. Wow. But yeah, that was a fascinating final few seconds of Q2, SJ.
Yeah, I think Sabina King doesn't want to jump into the comms box. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. That is very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, Marzi in the chat. Another whisper from the paddock. It looks like Watanabe retired early before he'd crossed a line in the pit, and the AI's put him back out on track. So a big mistake from the Aston Martin, man.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be. There's going to be an incident there. I'm just waiting for that to come in from Dante. But there was an incident there in quali that Spinelli King came around the corner and wanted maybe DNF, but I don't think he could get out the way, and that actually knocked out Spinelli King from Q2, which is really unfortunate. But Gunny taking P1, Nail Jur taking P2, and Lucas taking P3. McLaren are having an absolute fantastic night. Mercedes, though, P9, who are chasing McLaren at the moment, who are actually leading the overalls, have got one car through. But, Mr. Incident, would you remind me the drivers involved? Watanabe and Spinella King were involved in the incident in Q2 in the bus stop chicane. So there you go. Didn't you do a session on Thursday? There's a lot of messages coming in, which is really good to see. But we are going to have a few chats with a few of these guys as Keithy's jumping.
Been in here every week, SJ. I've been in here every week. It's not a good look, is it?
These things happen, mate. These things happen. I'll let Andy take you away this interview. So, Andy, over to you. Keithy in the Kick Sauber is in to have a chat with us.
Keithy, well done for getting through Q3 into Q2. It all went a little bit crazy there at the end of Q2.
A lot of crashes, a lot.
Yeah, you've missed out, my friend. What was the cause of you missing out? Did you come into some kind of traffic?
No, that was just poor driving on my part. I had a lap in earlier in the session on old tyres, which I hit every apex and everything, but that's old tyres. It's not going to give you a good lap. Came out this lap, underestimated the grip a lot, didn't drive right basically, and then there was a bit of drama at the end. Didn't really affect me, but I got a bit scared when they screamed, "There's a driver crashed in the bus stop."
Yeah, there you go. Well, unfortunately, you've missed out, my friend, and you'll be obviously looking to try and rectify that in the race. Your teammate's through. Alphonse Welling, he looks pretty good right now. He's showing a little bit of pace.
Yeah. He's fast, yeah. Yeah, he's very fast.
What's your hopes for the Kick team tonight?
Kick team tonight, hopefully I can find my way back up, keep out of trouble and score some good points for the team. Then, same for Alfonso, maybe he can get a win. Got some good pace. I'm really just trying to have some fun tonight. Just going to go out there and do my best.
That's all you can do, my friend. All you can do. Well, good luck for the race, Keithy. You take care, and I'm sure we'll tune into you on track.
Okay. Thanks, lads.
Thank you very much. I don't know if we're going to get the others in. I'm just going to quickly just tag them one more time. I don't know if they will jump in. But we've got, obviously, Steve, Wog, Keithy, and Shifty. Shifty will jump in. We'll see if he will jump in. But that was a very interesting into Q2. A little bit of drama there for the stewards to look at. Obviously, the incident there with Spinola and Watanabe, which is really unfortunate. But some big news for some of these guys. Andy, McLaren with 2 through. Red Bull with 2 through. And they're the only ones.
Yeah, good opportunity for teamwork. Another little whisper coming from the pit lane. There's been an interview with Watanabe, and Watanabe's come out firing on all cylinders. He said he actually DNF'd in the pits, made a mistake, took his front left tyre off, I assume, and the game reset him to track. So, stewards will still have a look at it, of course, but that sounds like a regular Cody's problem to me.
Don't we just love Cody problems, hey?
Yeah, love Cody problems. Wanted to be getting a little bit heated as well. I do like to see a little bit of heated on the defense. We like that from you, Watanabe. We hope that you obviously fire yourself back through the field. You looked like you'd got the track down in Q1. I was on board with you, and you obviously looked like you'd got it nailed down. Unfortunate for you in Q2. Lead car at the moment on track, SJ, is Alphonse Welling. We were just talking about him with Keithy. He's just... Whoa! Just coming through. Curveball Frere loses the back end. Still sets a purple sector 2 as you would as a lead car. But, yeah, this may be a compromised lap. And will be a little bit slower than he would have liked, I would have thought.
Yeah, there is a few mistakes that some of these guys are making. We're seeing the McLaren very, very close to each other as well. There is an invalidation there, but obviously Gully's behind. Obviously,
Well,
Alfonso Whelan does do the fastest lap with a 1:41.817 at the beginning of this
not that
start.
slow.
We're not seeing any toes though. I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any teams working together. There's a massive opportunity now for Red Bull and McLaren to work together. We've just seen the time there of 1:41.303. And we're seeing Gully go round, right? Just getting out of the way of the Alpine there. So interesting there. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way of the Alpine, as we're just keeping an on board the Alpine at the moment of Chandler's. Chandler's is on a lap. He is on a lap and he's getting a tow from Gully. Or is he? Or he's staying behind him. Oh, okay. A little bit of... Oh, no, they're moving out of the way. They're moving out of the way and letting the other guys go through. They've got to be careful, though, because there's traffic coming down that main straight and you do not want to be getting in the way. But we're not seeing any teamwork from the Red Bull or the McLarens. What do you think? What's your thoughts here? I thought that we were going to see some working together on the toe in this Q3 session, or even in Q2.
Yeah, I think if you work together earlier in Q3, that gives you an opportunity to obviously return the favour later on. So leaving it too late means that only one driver would benefit, of course. Still 6.5 minutes left of the session. Now Gio just flinging it through Lecom into Milady. Oh, almost sends it off track. A few mistakes starting to creep in here, SJ, from some of the drivers. A little bit too much curb every now and again in their attempts to get across. And now Gio will get a small tow from the Aston Martin in front. The Aston Martin in front's got to be careful, though, because now Gio is catching very quickly down towards bus stop chicane, pulls over to the right-hand side, get out of the way. And here comes the Red Bull then over the final two turns at the chicane and then the drive down towards the line. Looks like it's a 41 for sure. It's a 41.3 to go provisionally on the front row, 300ths of a second slower than the flying McLaren of Wojciech Steg.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be a very interesting battle here between Nail and Gully, and also Alfonso Vian. Can he bring in that 4.5 tenths and really compete against them top two, because that is extremely close. There's hardly anything in it to take P1 here, and I think we're going to have to put a prediction in, Andy. I think it's got to happen, isn't it? Who's going to get pole here? Is it going to be Gully, Gio, or Vine? Yeah, we're going to go with that. Are you happy with that prediction?
Yeah.
Let's put that in there.
Those top three, I think is good. Just in chat, F1 Jezza, good evening. Enjoyed your race, your debut in the reserve program. Good to have you here, Jezza. Looking forward to seeing you at Spa this weekend, and we are doing absolutely sensational as per usual on a Saturday evening, or Saturday morning as it is for me.
I've given 4 votes.
And yeah, that's it. That's it.
4 votes are in.
4 votes we got in.
We've got Gully, Niall, Afonso, or none of them. So if you want to risk it,
that's a wise choice.
Well, you've got to put it out there. Guys, get your prediction in. So who will get pole? You've got 2 minutes. Gully, Niall, Afonso, none of them. So pretty straightforward. Get amongst it, get involved, and really enjoyed. Great, I'm glad you did, mate. I'm really glad you did, and looking forward to seeing your first appearance. And that's what it's about, mate. Getting involved, getting amongst it, and getting involved for these league races, which are completely different to the reserve program. I'm just going to let you know. And you can ask Mareki Don on that, because he 100% knows, and so does Niall as well. But this is getting very interesting at the moment. We've got still some guys still to set times. Are we going to see 2 McLarens on the podium here? They've got a really good opportunity. So have Red Bull. What's your thoughts? What are we looking at? You know, we've seen Lucas. Lucas has been pretty impressive in all quality sessions. Mm-hmm. He hasn't set a time. Neither's Jono and neither's Chandler's. And Chandler's had a great week last week. Had some really good battling there with Kalki in Singapore. So we've got some really good names on this Q3 session, but 3 of them still not set times yet, Andy.
Yeah, 3 to set a time. And I think the first thing we're going to see here, SJ, there's only 10 cars, but we're going to see some traffic because we're just under 3 minutes to go. Nobody has made the move. We're just going to see a car making the move right now. It is the Aston Martin. Is it? Yeah, the Aston Martin of JDI Mr. Thunder is the first car out on track. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left of this session then. So they'll be wanting to try and leave a little bit of a gap. Wojciech Steg leaving the pits. Is he first? No, he's not the first McLaren. So is EVE Lucas going to try and help his teammate get pole position whilst also trying to pick up a decent starting position here? The two Red Bulls now, Gio still in the pit lane. Danger on his way out. About to start going down the Kemmel Straight. Overtaking the Williams of Midas Meller. So there's a little bit of a lull in proceedings here on this outlap. Everybody apart from Niall on an outlap, and now Niall leaves. So Niall looks like he's going to be the last car to cross the timing line. We can see that traffic up in Sector 2. A whole host of cars going through Rivage. 2 McLarens in close proximity. We've got Oscar Piastri is off the track right now. He has made a mistake at the end of the Kemmel Straight, and now he will be the last car if he can get round, which he obviously will in 1 minute 27 seconds. So it looks like Oscar Piastri Goat will be the last car to get a final run, a final lap. All these guys waiting right till the very end here, SJ. Is anybody in real danger? Where's Lucas and Jono?
Well, Lucas is
those guys.
Lucas is first. Lucas is first, and if you look at the situation between the two McLarens, we're looking like we're going to see a tow. We're looking like we are going to see the McLarens work together because Lucas is just about to start his time, and look who's behind him. Gully is right behind him.
Yeah, he's too far.
But I think he's too far in
front. No toe there.
Yeah, there's going to be no toe there, unfortunately. So, yeah, I don't know what's happened there. I don't know why the McLarens aren't working together, but some of these guys are very close together. Alfonso is very, very close to Chandler's. He's going to get a massive toe off the back of the kick Sauber, so that's going to help him. And we're going to go back to... A lot of these guys are going to get extreme toes from the back of each other. Obviously, Alfonso is going to get a massive toe off the back of Chandler's, or one or the other. But Gully is on his way. Lucas is in free rein air. Then we're going to go over to Gully. He's in P2 currently. And then the next car behind him, I think, is an Aston in JDMI. And the toe that he's going to get is going to be off the back of Danger. So that's going to be interesting. And then we're going a little bit further back. And then we've got Jono. I think we've got Chandler's and Alfonso. So, yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Keep an eye out on the rest of the pack probably after Gully and Lucas, because they're going to be the interesting ones, because the toe's going to be insane. And we've hit the big 5-0 of the night of viewers. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, tune in, get those channel points, and get those votes in. Andy, I'll let you take it away with Q3.
Yeah, Chandler's got a huge toe off Alphonse Welling in Sector 1 to set a purple Sector 1. He's going to get another toe a little bit further back now after a couple of mistakes in Sector 2, but he's still going to get a toe all the way between Blanchimont and that bus stop chicaneers. EVE Lucas with a 141.1 sets the fastest lap. How is Wojciech Steg going to respond to that? His teammate, he goes quicker, 141 flat. Front row lockout at the moment. No, it isn't. Ooh! Alphonse Welling, a 140.9. Chandler's up to P5. Where's Jono? Jono coming up to bus stop chicane right now. A couple of cars about to cross the line as Midas Meller doesn't improve position. Here comes Jono, though. Raced really well the last few weeks. The race, the charge down towards the line. Gets up to P6. And we've got Oscar Piastri. He'll be the last car across the line as now Gio. What's now Gio going to do? Now Gio only goes second fastest. Oscar Piastri go into P6. That's your qualification session done. And it will be the kick Sauber of Alphonse Welling to take pole position, SJ, by a shade over 1/10 of a second.
Yeah, fantastic. And it was really good to see the channel points coming in there, because 45% was Gully was the favourite to take that. and someone's already onto it anyway. Someone's already pressed the button, and 30,000 channel points awarded to one viewer. So congratulations to who voted for Alfonso, because you've got that spot on. So congratulations, and remember, we don't advertise gambling. Let's go 30,000 points to Tudor. Well, you're not going to vote for anyone else, are you, apart from a Kick-Sauber driver? But there we go. P1 is Alfonso Violin. His first ever appearance in Rush Racing League takes pole position in round 5. Nausia taking P2 and Alpha Gully taking P3. Back to you, Andy.
Yeah, real good session, that. And I think even though we've got Alphonse Ad in front, followed by Nargio, Alpha Gully, a.k.a. Wojciech Steg, and, of course, Evie Lucas, the two McLarens sitting pretty in third and fourth, with a little bit of potential teamwork to keep themselves up with those two cars sat on the front row here at Spa. Looks reasonable in terms of weather. No chat from our resident weathermen down at Spa-Francorchamps here. A little bit of cloud in the sky, but also glimpses of blue sky as well, SJ. Do you think we're going to see any rain across these, what is it, 20... How many laps do we do here? 21, 22? Oh, just take it away.
Okay, I'll let you know in a minute. Here we go, 22 laps around Belgium, Spa, round number 5 of Division 1, and here we go, going into turn 1, everyone, so far so good. Oh, there's a big accident, Maximus has lost it, and he's gone straight in, and we've got a virtual safety car, and that is the Mercedes out of this race on lap 1. I do not know what happened there. I think we just completely lost control. Didn't put any brakes on. We'll have to wait and see. But there we go. We are one out. Mercedes Max Marcus out of this race. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, drama in tonight's lobby already. 18 drivers left. And yeah, that was an interesting... that would be something to look at by the stewards there, I guess. 58 people tuning in, watching that, and yeah, that's unfortunate for Mercedes. We don't need to
damage to both Aston Martins.
I don't need to keep hearing red flag. Red flag makes no difference, guys. The division manager makes the decision. Don't confuse the drivers, because then they start retiring. There is no red flag currently, guys. Just continue racing. But Andy, that was very interesting.
Yeah. Damage to multiple cars, both Aston Martins, the Ferrari of Jono, at least one of the Williams, probably Midas Mellor, and G-Force Nick. No, G-Force Nick seems to have got away with damage, but there's at least 1, 2, 3. There's at least 4 cars with wing damage, both Aston Martins. Wantanebe will definitely have to pit. He's missing the whole front wing. He's running Pinocchio with a big nose, and a right end plate for JDI Mr. Missing. Jono also a right end plate, and then Midas Mellor a right end plate as well. So multiple cars with multiple damage, and it's not a virtual, it's a full. So full safety car. The safety car is on track between turns 1 and 2. So we will see full safety car. That'll be that's good for the two Aston Martin boys. Danger is out of the session.
Yeah, it is a red flag, though. They have all red flags, so we'll be back.
It is a red flag. We've run the red flag.
We are running a red flag. ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. Due to a red flag moment, we will be restarting, and we have got everyone, apart from a few drivers, we are starting up with 18, but we're back, Andy, with hopefully a clean turn one.
Yeah, let's hope so, SJ. Sorry for the brief interlude, ladies and gentlemen, but we are away, and SJ is going to take us to turn one for the second time.
Yes, take two. Here we go, round number 5 at Spa, and we are off. A very slow start there from the front two, but we are going to get started. Here we go, as Alfonso. Very good, nicely done. There you go. Look, that's how you do turn one, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. Someone straight line, turn one. That's why it was red flagged, and they have now been removed from lead racing. And that's it. So Alfonso Ryan going up into the main straight. We've got drama going on at the back, and someone has lost it, and there's a virtual and Danger's gone straight into the wall. He's had a 10-second collision there with Watanabe, and we're under a VSC already, and no one has made it through up the Rouge, unfortunately. That, I cannot believe Danger is still alive in that car.
No, well, Watanabe and Danger locked tyres going down through Eau Rouge. And then to begin the climb up Radion, the tyres were locked and they couldn't turn. They took each other left. Watanabe escaped with just a broken wing on the left-hand side. Danger is, I believe Danger's got no front wing whatsoever. I'll soon see. Yeah, no front wing at all for Danger in the Red Bull. In a tangle then through turn 2, Eau Rouge, and to begin going up the hill. So he also picked up a 10-second penalty, did Danger, for that contact with Watanabe. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm just on with the pair of them at the rear of the field, and Danger just can't turn that car without the front wing. It's only a VSC, of course, so that's going to really hamper Danger, because he's going to have to go in, serve that 10 seconds, and get the front wing replaced.
Yeah, as you can see there, a complete mixture of tyres as well, and that's not the start that Red Bull are going to want. But Alfonso Violin is green flag racing, and Niall Gell is going to even go for the move very early on there. It's mediums versus hards. We've got a bit of a battle going on there between Chandler's and Lucas. Chandler's gets the exit right there, and is he going to get the move done going into turn number 1? And it looks like he is. Yeah, Lucas is going to go around the outside, a little bit of late braking there, getting squeezed, but nice racing side by side. Can you remove the cup from your mic, by the way? I don't have a cup from my mic, so I don't know what you're talking about. There we go. Oscar Piastri go on the soft, JD Mai on the softs, Midas on the mediums, Keithy and Shifty on the softs, Halo on the softs, and Watanabe on the softs. So a lot of people going for the soft strategy, but we've got a battle going on here between Chandler's, Lucas and Piastri go, as Chandler's does get the position into P4 at the moment. We've got a very aggressive start already on lap 2 out of 22. Andy.
Yeah, Oscar Piastri there had such incredible pace on the soft tyre going up through the Kemmel Straight, but he came up to a roadblock in front of him with both Lucas and Chandler's in front. If he'd got that, when he's trying to go around the outside, he's gone off track slightly, but he has got the move done eventually. Didn't pass off track. As Lucas has left the session, I'll get him back in. I'll let you carry on, my friend.
Yes, I will indeed. We've got JD and My Thunder in P7, having a nice little battle there. Lucas dropping all the way down into P8 on those hards. Are those the tyres to be onto? Because now he's coming under pressure from Shifty Wizard side by side. Here we go, going on the right-hand side. Does he get the move done? Yes, he does. Those hard compound tyres are not doing the job for Lucas at the moment. He's been squeezed going down from P5 all the way down to P10, and he's been absolutely bombarded with those soft compound tyres. Is this the strategy? Have McLaren got this wrong? Are they in the mud in this race tonight? We'll have to wait and see, as we've got one of those cars in P3, but Lucas is falling all the way back down, and he's going to get himself into a little bit of drama, and he's just about to join. I think he's just joined, and someone's got damage. Someone's got damage due to that rejoin there. That's unfortunate, and he's now back into it, and he's now on the hard compound tyres. But I think one of these cars in front have damage. Oh, we've got Maraki Don and Hado going side by side up the Rouge. That is what you love to see. Balls of steel up there, Andy, between the Ferrari and the Haas. This is a very aggressive start. You think this was the last red flag. Well, you'd think this is the last race of the season, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is the Ferrari of Meraki Don that does have right wing end plate damage. It has disappeared off the Ferrari. The prancing horse is a little bit lame here on lap 3 of 22. And yeah, Lucas all the way down to P16 now because of disconnecting. So he disconnected. He wasn't under control of the car when those moments happened at turn 1. He only just got control of the car, I believe, as he went up through Eau Rouge and Radion. We'll have to wait and see, and hopefully he can take control of the car, of course, because we know that that's a known glitch. But he's not getting passed by Watanabe, so I would suggest that he's back under control. He would have fallen all the way to the back, bar Danger, of course, after that incident with Danger on the first lap. Out in front, though, the medium runner of Alphonse Velin in the Kick Sauber completes lap 3 to start lap number 4 here at Spa. And he's 1.5 seconds down the road. The softer, quicker compound of tyre just getting him out of the way of Danger of Wojciech Steg and Niall Gio. Wojciech Steg having leapfrog Niall into P2, both on the hard tyre, will come under pressure from Piastri Goat, who's now managed to get himself past Jono and Chandler's up into P4, SJ.
Yeah, no, really good job so far. Oh, there we go. We've got a move going on here as Niall does go into P2 past Gully at the moment. We've got a little bit of a battle going on here between Shifty, JD, and I. And there you go. Keithy just ran the outside, says thank you very much, but he made a bit of a mistake. Oh, we've got drama going on at the back. Minus Miller has lost it and has had to go very slow. Watanabe getting a 3-second time penalty. A lot of drama is happening at the back. These hard compound runners are running quite slow. Look at the difference between Niall and Alfonso. 1.7 gap between them. But obviously Gully and Niall are staying together, but there is a bit of a gap, though, between that Kick Sauber at the moment. And, well, we've never seen this before. Kick Sauber leading Division 1 race in Belgium. Yellow flags flying around. Danger not having the race tonight at all. He's had another spin there. We're on lap 4 out of 22, and this is getting very interesting. Quite an aggressive start from some of these guys, I've got to say, Andy.
Yeah, maybe that's a little bit of pent-up frustration from the red flag scenario. Just being sat in that cockpit, ticking along as we got the grid reset, but it was absolutely necessary at the start of this race this evening as the guys start lap number 5. Now Gio and Wojciech Steg still 2 seconds off the back of Alphonse Velin here. But I think probably in a relatively good position. I imagine that Niall and Wojciech will work quite nicely together. I can imagine them exchanging positions on that Kemmel Straight regularly over the course of the next few laps. Alphonse will obviously pit first. And actually, Wojciech gets the move done without the DRS. Gets it done before the DRS zone. On Niall. 2.5 seconds the gap back to Jono in the Ferrari. He's got both Oscar Piastri and Chandler's for company. Then another 1.5 second gap back to Shifty Whizzer, who also has 2 cars for company, Keithy and Spinella King. 2.4 seconds back to Meraki Don, who didn't pit to get that wing damage done. So he's the proverbial champagne cork in the bottle. Once you get past him, you'll have some clean road in front of you. He's just holding up these cars here with that front wing damage. 2.6 seconds, growing every time these cars go through turns, especially here in sector number 2. So he's got what Hado, Lucas, Zexified, G-Force, Nick behind him. So plenty of cars in that little DRS train as Meraki Don picks up 3 seconds. Unfortunate for him with that front wing damage, really compromising his race, SJ.
Yeah, it is. That's really hurt him as well. And there's a few people have got penalties as well, and getting penalties this early on is not the best thing you want to do. Obviously, Chandler with that 3, Meraki Don with that 3, and also Watanabe with that 3 as well. Going a little bit further up to the top, though, this battle between P7, P8 and P9 is really heating up, which is really good to see. You've got Shifty obviously on them soft compound tyres, Keithy on them softs, and then you've got Spinella King on those hards as well. He's going to get into it. Those hards are going to start getting into temperature. As you can see, he does have a low on the fuel light there, so he has under fueled, so that'll be an interesting one. Are we seeing a gap at the moment from from Alfonso being dropped down. It's 1.5. It was 1.8 before, and we are going to probably start to see that drop. Those hard compound tyres, they can go a distance. And I do believe that we could see a safety car here. There's been a lot of drama very early on, but we've got Niall and Gunny just working together. Are they working together to try and catch Alfonso? That's going to be the question. We've got battles going on still in that P7 and 8 position. As Shifty now up into P7 and Keithy down into P8. Spinella King right behind him, trying to catch up. Meraki Don 2.8 down the road. Battle, though, going on between Evie and Lucas. You've got GeForce Nick and Hado in the Haas battle there between him and Zesify. And then the two Aston Martins, who have been absolutely phenomenal in the start of the season, have not had the best of nights down there in P16 and P17, Andy.
No, absolutely. Tough night for Aston Martin thus far. Tough night for the Haas as well. Evie Lucas, by the way, what a recovery drive it looks like we've got on our hands here. He's come all the way back from P16 up to P11 through the last few laps, and he's got up almost within DRS range of Meraki Don, who of course does have that damage and is 3 seconds off the back. So again, the champagne cork of Meraki Don. If Lucas can get himself past that Ferrari, he'll have some open road, and it looks like he's got some good pace on those ever-warming hard tyres. Into the pit lane already. It's Oscar Piastri. Had enough of the soft compound tyre, SJ.
Yeah, it's obviously not working for him, so he will jump on and get onto those hards, and I reckon he'll probably be able to go to the end of the race, and we'll have to wait and see if anything is going to change there. But Mercedes obviously having one car due to the incident in the red flag, which is obviously not what we want to see in league racing, so unfortunately that person will no longer be racing with us anymore, and and hopefully people take note and send it out to the community there, because that's not what you want in league racing. Do not want to be straight lining people at turn one going into a race. These guys give up their time and they are serious. There is points, prizes up for grabs. They want to win. It's competitive, and that's what we want to have here. So we don't want to deal with that behaviour in here at all. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, but we've got a great race on our hands at the moment, and
We have.
Yeah, it's a great race.
With just a little bit of potential drama there between Lucas and Meraki Don. So Lucas had got up alongside Meraki Don down that Kemmel Straight as they headed down towards Les Combes and Malmedy. And actually it looked like he'd got to a point where he'd got past, and Meraki Don's lack of front wing has just pushed him off track. So actually Meraki Don moved to one side in between Malmedy and Rivage and let the McLaren through. So well done to Meraki Don from that, recognising a mistake and letting the McLaren through. That 2.8 second gap just feels like now it might start to come down significantly, SJ. We've got hard tyre chasing soft tyre.
Yeah, we do, and we are going to get, I think we're going to get some serious battles going on. Are those softs going to be able to hold it? That's going to be the question. Obviously, we've only got two at the moment carrying on them soft compound tyres, which is Shifty and Keithy, and Spinella King looks like he's ready to pounce and ready to make a move. We'll just jump on board with him up the Rouge to see what he can do. 57 people tuning in. Let's get 3 more and get to the big 6-0 as Spinella King comes up to Rouge. How much more speed has he got than the others? I think he's got a lot more because he's going for the move. Look at that!
Wow.
Insane speed. And he takes P5 position. And I'll tell you something, Andy, what a time to go on and onboard there of Spinella King.
Yeah, that was super use of battery, DRS, setup, I imagine. And what a move that was from the V-Carb. Taking 2 positions down the Kemmel Straight before he got to Les Combes, and got it done nice and early as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Move there. And
customer relations. Customer relations, thank you so much for the Tier 1 subscription for 20 months, and of course a whole heap of bitties as well.
Yeah, good to see. Loving the support, continuing support there. And there we go. So, what a move from Spinella King. Absolute phenomenal job there. Actually, now a brand new full-time driver for the RB. So, really good to see. Unfortunately, lost Churros Gamer last week, which was unfortunate. But it is what it is. You've got to move on. And we've got Jono in P4, who's doing a great job at the moment. 1.7. The gap they've pulled to the guys out in front is phenomenal, because Niall and Czech have got some company, and Jono, who is literally right behind them, and it's not going to be long before, obviously, those tyres are going to start to die off and Alfonso's car. And if the safety car comes out, it changes the whole dynamics of this race yet again, Andy.
Yeah, Keith responded, picking up 10 seconds in the pit lane as well for speeding as he tried to ditch those soft tyres. Niall and Wojciech Steg about to swap positions down toward Lecom. Jono, that gap was over 3 seconds, so he managed to reel a little bit in, but with DRS out in front, Wojciech and now Gio have pulled that gap back to 2.4 seconds, and that's what I think we'll see here. The two cars in P2 and 3, Niall and Wojciech, utilising DRS, will get a little bit further out in front down the Kemmel Straight. You'd like to think that also begin to close the gap on Alphonse Vellin as well, out in front in that Kick Sauber. Just a nice steady race, steady pace here from that top four. Big gap now back to Spinella King, 6.5 seconds. But Spinella has shown some promise in the early stages of this race, and I'm sure he'll be looking to focus his attention on that, on the back of that Ferrari when he gets to see it there, SJ.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I think it's going to be a very interesting battle between these front three. Strategy's going to come to a key here, but Alfonso is in charge of this at the moment, which is really good to see. And we'll have to wait and see what Niall's going to do, because Niall has got Steg for company. Jono has managed to pull the gap, but he's actually lost a bit of time. It was 1.8, it's now 2.2, and he is pushing on those medium compound tyres. Same tyres that Alfonso is on at the moment. Chandler's and Shifty looking to make a move there. Shifty does come into the pit. Good stint on those soft compound tyres, 8 laps in fact, and Midas Mellett will overtake his teammate, and well, it's a mixture, isn't it, of mediums and hards, and a lot of people look like they're going for the hard strategy tonight, Andy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see once we get onto once the hard runners get onto the mediums and the medium runners get onto the hards, which we would assume they would do, what kind of pace difference Wojciech and Niall will both have, and Spinella King will have on those medium runners, Jono and Alphonse. It'll be interesting to see the latter stages of this race, how much quicker with that lighter fuel load, track evolution, what those medium tyres will do in that final stint for the McLaren, Red Bull and V-Carb.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gap now, isn't it? You've got 4 tenths between Niall and Stig, and then everyone else, the other closest battle. Oh, Lucas gets a 3 seconds. That's not going to help his race at all. He's had a bit of drama in this race with obviously disconnecting earlier on. But so far so good. He's in P7. He's got Chandler's for comfort, and these both two here have got pens, and they're both on the same strategy, so it's all about pace. Who's got the quicker car? That's going to be the question. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. It's Wog, GeForce Nick and Lucas are on the same strat. Chandler's is on the mediums, and Lucas is ready to pounce. And I think they've both got a 3. No, Chandler's has got a 6 and Lucas has got a 3. So at the moment, Lucas will jump Chandler's for that P6 position, and that is just a strong position for McLaren so far in P7 and P2 compared to Mercedes in P11 on those 3-lap hards. Andy.
Early pit here for GeForce Nick on the hard compound tyre after 10 laps, diving into the pit lane. Do we have wing damage? No wing damage by the look of it. Might be he's going to try and churn out 11 laps on the medium tyre. 12 laps on the medium tyre for his second stint. So that's an interesting move from GeForce Nick. I would imagine those mediums may well be reasonably close towards the edge of life by the time we get to the end of the race. Probably pitted a little bit early for you, SJ, there, or is he just trying to get this massive undercut?
Oh, anything can happen. It's 11 laps, 11 more laps to go, and anything can happen. We saw such an aggressive start from some of these guys going into the race and a few incidents earlier on. But apart from that, it started to mellow out quite nicely, which is really good. And some big gaps, so some big opportunities for some of these guys to pick up points at the moment, like Alpine sitting in a very good position in P7 and P8 currently. You've got the McLarens in P2 and P6. And obviously the Hasses in P13 and P14 probably not the biggest points that they want, as G4 Nick does take JDMI for that P12 position. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. One incident, and then it brings out a safety car, which I'm going to put the prediction up in a sec. But yeah, at the moment, there is a few penalties going out though. So if these guys can keep it clean, some big points for some of the guys that don't perform on tracks like this to get big points here, Andy.
Yeah, and I think from a race perspective right now, we're potentially seeing the lifespan of these medium tyres. The gap back to Jono is huge, and the two boys in P2 and 3 have begun to reel in the kick Sauber of Alphonse. They'll swap positions again here. Niall taking P2 now as they head down toward Lecon. But it's Jono 3.8 seconds off the back, and they're only 1.3 seconds. Now, they almost, at the beginning of lap 12, almost got themselves into DRS range of that kick Sauber, SJ. So that's something for us to consider. The gap has grown again to 1.6 seconds. I assume that's down to battery usage. No, everybody on medium. So interesting that they'd got themselves into 1 second, and they've both lost 6/10 in Sector 1 and the first half of Sector 2 here, SJ.
Yeah, definitely. There's a nice little battle going on between P14 and 15. We've got Maraki Don in P16 ready to make the move on the Haas, go around the outside. Ooh, stays behind at the moment, doesn't make the move, instead stays in behind. Going a little bit further up, we've also got Keefe in P12 at the moment. And a nice little battle against G4 Nick there. So some really good battles going on. A little bit further up, we've got Oscar Piastri go in a battle there with Zissify. He's going to just stay with them. He is 26 seconds away from the leader, so a bit of a distance at the moment. Then we go a little bit further back up, and we've got the battle still going on here between Steg and Nail Joaps. Jono has not been able... Oh, Steg's in. Steg's off the hards and going on... What's this?
Softs, is he? No, mediums.
Onto the mediums.
Yeah, it feels like an early stop. Jono's gone medium to soft.
Oh, they hadn't stopped.
So those soft tyres...
They hadn't stopped. That was why. Sorry, they hadn't stopped. I thought they actually had stopped, but they hadn't. So that's why. So Alfonso, Niall and Sabinella, Chandler's and Zessify and Lucas... Lucas has just come in, and Zessify still haven't stopped. So there's quite a few guys out there who still haven't stopped Andy. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing them go the distance and now coming into the pits. So I thought that was it. I thought they could continue to the end of the race. But they hadn't even done their pit stop.
No, and Wojciech now has Chandler's for company. Chandler's on 12-lap-old medium tyres yet to stop. Wojciech Steg has come out in front of him. So clean air for him, fresh tyres. Be much quicker on those brand new mediums than Chandler's will be on the older ones, and you can see that already through those turns there, pulling out over a second gap, 1.3 seconds now. Jono on the soft tyres, an interesting choice for me. Feels like that might be right on the edge, the limit of those soft tyres by the end of the race, certainly from a pace perspective anyway. And is Niall or Alphonse going to react to this pit stop by Wojciech? We know that track evolution and the undercut is incredibly strong at the majority of tracks here on this game cycle, and Alphonse reacts. Alphonse into the pits, Niall into the pits. Let's keep our eye on Wojciech Steg then. Down towards bus stop chicane. Spinella King in front of him, also into the pits. So will Wojciech Steg be leading this race by the time he gets out through turn number 1 on his way down the hill towards Eau Rouge and Radion? It looks like this might be the case. We've got Alphonse coming out the pits, and yes, it is. It's Wojciech Steg in the McLaren that takes the lead of the race. Alphonse fell in second, now Gilles third, Jono fourth, Chandler's fifth, but yet to stop. So, the front four then. This is the race to the finish then for the McLaren, Kick Sauber, Red Bull and Ferrari, SJ.
Yeah, I think the Alpines are thinking that there's going to be a safety car here because both of them are the only team that have not stopped yet. And I'm just going to look at the tyre situation. So one is on 13 laps and the other one is on 13 lap hard. So a mixed strategy there. The question, as we did see in the comments earlier on from Dynasty, was saying Jono on them soft compound tyres doing 9 laps. Well, Alfonso Vine has also gone onto those soft compound tyres and he's doing 8 laps. So can Steg Gully, aka Gully, get away from these front three? That's going to be the question. He's 1.2 seconds out in front at the moment, but how long is it going to take before Alfonso starts to really gear up them softs and really start putting the pressure down? Are they going to be able to last until the end of this race? We've just seen a yellow there. Midas Mellor has lost it. That brings out no safety car. No, he's all good. He's down there in P16. He's lost it there. We're going to go back up to the front. It's still 1.3 seconds at the moment. So Alfonso's trying to get in the DRS. 70% against Steg's 32%. So as you can see, very, very close. 1 second. Is he in the DRS? Is he in the DRS? No. Is he going to get into the DRS before Rouge? Let's have a look. We'll just keep an eye on Alfonso Vine because he is the one to watch out for. He is on a very, very quick tyre, but we know, are they going to last round here at Belgium? Is Steg on the better tyre? Let's have a look. Is he in the DRS now? 1 second, 985. 950. No, he's not. He's not in the DRS, but he's got some... Or is he in the DRS? I don't know. He's got some serious pace going down that straight, though. 6.5 tenths. He's in the DRS now, Andy. This is going to be a battle between the front four because Jono is in the mix as well behind Nail Gia.
Yeah, Jono's got himself right up onto this pack. Needs to make those soft tyres sing, though, early doors, because towards the back end, we may find that Wojciech Steg and now Gio are on the quicker compound at the last stages, the last couple of laps of this race. Now, between Alphonse and Niall, they have managed to get right up on the back of the McLaren of Wojciech. Jono in close comparison, and nobody then for another 5 seconds down the road. It's Oscar Piastri and Spinella King. Spinella King, 3.3 seconds off the back of Oscar Piastri. Will try and reel that 3 seconds in on the quicker, softer compound tyre. But out in front, it's Wojciech Steg. Will come under pressure from Alphonse Welling. Whether it's up to the bus stop chicane, we don't know. But certainly, down through Eau Rouge, up Radion, down the Camel Straight, we might see a change of lead of this race, SJ.
I've got to say, 4 brand new drivers in this league are absolutely having a battle and a half. You've got Steg in the McLaren, Alfonso in the kick, Niall Giro as the reserve driver in the Red Bull, and Jono, the brand new full-time driver of Ferrari, having an absolute battle out there, which is great to see. And yeah, I don't know where this is going to go because one's on 3, some are on 3, and the other 2 are on 2 laps. It's going to be how long can them soft compound tyres last, as Alfonso is going to go for the lead of the Grand Prix again, goes for the move past Steg, gets the job done. Is Jono getting closer to Niall? He stays within the DRS at the moment, 43% against 67% of Niall's, and Niall and Steg are probably in the best battle here on those medium compound tyres. How long are them softs going to last, Andy? Are they going to be gone before the end of this race? That's the question. That is the question that we're going to be asking. We've seen the softs on this game are crap. We know that. The mediums and the hards are the tyre to be on. But is Belgium going to be the soft strategy? Is it going to be the strategy that wins Alfonso his first ever race in Rush Racing League? Or even Jono getting back onto the podium consistency? Or are those mediums of Steg and Gio going to cause problems and they take out the win? What's your thoughts, my friend?
I would think that the medium runners have got the advantage. Jono, obviously, with the oldest soft tyre out there at the minute in terms of that top 4, may find a struggle. He's got to just hang on to the back of this leading trio. 7 tenths the gap at the minute. He will be able to utilise DRS, of course, which will allow him to save a little bit of life in those tyres here on lap 16 of 22. We're about to go start lap 17, of course. Alphonse will have harder use on the soft tyre, being out in front. No DRS for him, and therefore more downforce as he heads down that Camel Straight. A little bit more wear on those tyres. So it'll be interesting to see over the course of the next 6 laps which of these tyre strategies comes out on top. But if I was a betting man, which I'm obviously not because we don't do a great deal of gambling here other than channel points, I would suggest that Wojciech and Niall will have a tussle over the last 2 laps for the race win.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it in esports, don't we? That they just stay within each other, wait for the final moment, then burn all of their ERS. Okay, no, that's fine, no problem. If you've got an announcement, flick it through to my DMs and or whatever, and we'll go from there, Bolts. Yeah, just talking about esports, it's very similar to that situation. These guys will stay within each other. They will save up as much battery, and then they will go hell for leather down those main straights, won't they, Andy? They will use as much as they can to try and push and make the moves. But the question is, are they all going to be able to stay within each other? Jono is starting to fall back a little bit. 8.5 temps. It was 5 temps last lap. He's now 8.5 temps. He needs to stay in, and he's gone into the wall. Oh, Jono's gone into the wall. Does that bring out safety car? Yes, it does. Jono has lost it. He's lost it into
Unbelievable.
second 3. And that brings in a safety car. And you've had drama to the max. Oh, Jono, that is absolutely devastating. He's still in the race. He's still got an opportunity. But he's lost it. He's lost it coming out the corner. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a safety car closing on the last couple of laps, Andy. I can't believe what I've just seen.
Yeah, incredible scenes on lap 17. Everybody will no doubt pile into that pit lane to throw on fresh softs, and we'll end up with probably a 3 or 4 lap shootout. Everybody will have full battery. Anybody with a penalty will be basically livid. So from Lucas, Keith, Meraki, Don, all these guys with penalties. Hado will be delighted, of course, as will Midas Mellor. From the depths of P17, Midas Mellor may well end up finding himself some points here tonight because of this very late safety car. We're going to see Alphonse pick up the safety car. Wojciech, Naugio. Is Oscar Piastri going to get out? Oscar Piastri gets out into P4 as well. The Mercedes, man, the lone rider in the Mercedes, getting himself up into P4. This has been some drive from him, and he's been handed a wild card here right at the end, SJ, as he's going to get himself up into the mix for this race win. So top 6, I would imagine, potentially could win this race. Jono's still got a chance, of course, but will be in P6 rather than in P4. And it's just brought more cars into the mix, SJ.
Yes, indeed. I can't believe what I was saying. I thought that we were going to have a 4-way battle, and Jono's lost it on the last lap, and that just tells you that if anything can change. And we are coming to the driver of the day situation now, Andy, so we will jump on board with some predictions. But who is your driver of the day?
At the minute, I think my driver of the day, I would have to choose Oscar Piastri Go. I think he's done a pretty good job. He's kept himself in the mix. He's not made a huge amount of positions up, only a couple, but he's still in with a chance of winning this race. Yeah, well, I'm going to give mine to Alfonso. I think Alfonso on his debut, first ever debut, absolutely fantastic. He's been so good from start to finish. So we'll go with that. Guys, get your driver of the day in. Just going to put this message in. Get your DOTD in. There we go. So get your driver of the day in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to a prediction. Right. How many are we going to choose? Are we going to choose? Are we choosing 4? I think we choose the top 6 for the prediction. Who's going to win this race? Yeah. Okay. Alright, so that's good. Spinella King, by the way. Spinella King up 10 positions. The V carb. So. Right, so we've got Alfonso. People may well consider him. We've got. Mareki Don. If we can get Mareki Don an invite, that would be awesome. We've got Stig, we've got Niall, we've got Oscar, we've got Spinella King, and we've got Jono. We'll go Shifty as well. And Shifty's got votes in there. Yeah, we'll stop it there, and we'll go
None. We'll put none in there.
If none of those drivers win this race, I'll be amazed. I think
Yeah,
Meraki Don's
well,
just got back in. 3-lap shootout it's going to be, mate. 3-lap shootout. Just need Danger to get up to the back of this this group, which I'm sure he will do on lap 19 of 22. Rush Racing League's delivering again, SJ.
it always
Division
does,
1
mate.
Quick Boys.
It always
It
does. 56 people tuning in. Let's get 4 more people and get to the big 6-0, ladies and gentlemen. And then we've got an ad break coming in about 1 minute. Well, no, we haven't actually. 16 minutes. But if you have just tuned in with us, 56 people tuning in, thank you very much for the support. After the red flag, we've had a little bit of drama on. It's not letting me take control of my car. Oh, that is unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. Stop watching it drive. All right. You've done
Who's
75%. You've done 75% of the race. So wherever your car finishes, you will get points. All right, Meraki Don, that's all I can do. I can't do any more, mate. All I can do is, because you've done 75% of the race, you will get points wherever you finish. So...
Red flag? Lol.
I can't do it for one driver on lap 19.
I'm joking, SJ. I'm joking.
It's so unfortunate. I hate that. It happened to me in Bahrain. Bahrain.
Yeah.
Spent 4 days practicing, getting really into it. Couldn't even take control. I literally got to the first corner, and that's it. So, unfortunate.
Safety car coming in. Safety car coming in this lap. Watanabe and Mella just exchanging positions there. People are getting bunched up. Pretty bad at the back here. Just retain your composure, gentlemen. The start will be upon us before you know it. And I think Watanabe's trying to give a position to Danger here. I don't know.
Don't retire.
I'm unsure he's back.
Quit. Don't retire.
Yeah, don't retire.
That's it.
Don't retire.
Right, we are going to get going. Everyone is saying prediction is done. 56% on Alfonso, 41% on Steg, and 3% on Shifty. So we'll have to wait and see. As Alfonso Vine is about to start on lap 20. We've got 2 laps of racing. I'll let Andy take away this last few laps. I will take away the last lap. We are going to have DRS, Andy. We are going to have DRS on the last lap. This is going to be intense. Can Steg, can Vine, can Niall, can Oscar the SG go around the middle of nowhere is into P4. After everything has happened to Merck tonight, up into P4. They've got to be extremely happy with that result at the moment. But I'll pass it back to you, Andy. We're on lap 20 out of 22, and Alfonso is leading this race.
He is indeed leading this race in that kick Sauber with a McLaren, Red Bull, and a Mercedes in hot pursuit. And not too far back, by the way, is Spinella King in that V-carb. I think the interesting play here is a little bit of settling down early as we got a yellow flag waving in the background for potentially Zexify there, losing a bit of traction and control in the car. But I would imagine, SJ, that there'll be a little bit of settling down from these front 6. Chandler's obviously with the penalty and has dropped out of DRS range for when DRS is activated on lap 21. So 6 cars, I imagine, just going to settle down, try and retain a little bit of composure. Wojciech not using much battery, just switching to hot lap ever so slightly. 8.5 tenths, nearly 9 tenths now off the back of the kick Sauber. Shifty Wizard taking positions from Chandler's. But Wojciech Steg teetering on the brink here in terms of DRS range up to Alphonse. That could be a real key battle as we got yellow flags. We've got another car. It's Midas Mella again. Seems to be having an issue through Blanchimont. But here we go. Penultimate lap at Spa-Francorchamps Rush Racing League Division 1 Saturday night. And you're here for what will be a wild, wild finish. For the penultimate time then, we go up through Radion towards the Kemmel Straight. And we've got Kick Sauber, McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes, V-Carb and Ferrari, all with a great chance of winning this Belgian Grand Prix. As several positions change in that midfield. Evier Lucas moving up into P7. Danger moving up into P14. Now as Chandler's picks up yet another time penalty. That'll be 9 seconds, I believe, for him now. is going to be interesting. I cannot wait for that Kemmel straight on lap 22, SJ. It is going to be one heck of a finish into Lecom and Melody. Or Malmedy, should I say.
It is. It's going to be...
Wojciech!
Oh,
3 seconds
no!
for Wojciech!
He's done! No!
Makes a mistake through
That's massive.
Puon. Makes a mistake through Puon and picks up the 3 seconds.
That's massive. It looks like he is going to fall way down tonight. And, well, this is F1. This is what happens in F1. He has dominated so far in Division 1. And he had it. He had it in the shape of his hand. And now it looks like it's Alfonso all the way. So we are going to come up to the bus stop chicane and we're going to go to the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. This is my favourite part. 62 of you tuning in tonight, watching this Grand Prix. Thank you very much for the support. Steg gets a penalty. Alfonso is 9 tenths out in front, 59% on the ERS. Who is going to get P3? Is it going to be Niall? Sorry, P2. Is it going to be Niall? Is it going to be Oscar? Is Sabinella King going to get a podium? Is Jono going to get a podium? Who is going to burn all of their ERS down that main straight, up through Arouge? Here we go. Alfonso is on his way. He's going to burn everything he's got. Steg is going to get the DRS. Niall is ready to pounce on Steg. Goes for the move into P2. Is he going to be able to get P1? That's going to be the question. Oscar Piastri right behind Steg now into P4. Spinella King so close that he's got Cholo. They could be up for points. This is for P3. Could be for P3. We'll have to wait and see. Jono's got nowhere to go. I'll look at pins in a sec. We've got 22 laps. We've got Spinella King really under pressure from Jono right behind at the moment, but let's have a look. Is Niall going to be able to catch Alfonso? That's the question. 46 versus 30% ERS. Niall 4 laps. Alfonso 4 laps. Who is going to win this Grand Prix? This is going to be the question. Steg is out of it. He has got the penalty. We're going to jump on board with pens quickly. There you go. Oscar Piastri got yellows at the back. Zesify is out of this race. He is done. He is dusted. We have a finish with 17 currently. Niall, he's got 6.5 tenths to go. 20%. Alfonso's got 30. He's got so much more ERS than Niall. I think Alfonso's going to get this. I think he's going to get it. The question is Spinella or Jono? They're going side by side in the bus stop chicane. Spinella and Jono. Jono on the left, Spinella on the right. Who's going to get the move? They're going side by side. And we've seen so much drama. Right at the end, is Jono going to be able to hold on? Spinella King gets it. Spinella King gets in front of Jono. Takes P4. Jono takes P5, 0.052 at the line, but Alfonso wins on his debut of Rush Racing League. What a final finish for the sprint at the end there. Woo! Andy.
Yeah, cracking finish, super finish. What a problem that was for McLaren with that 3-second penalty, dropping Wojciech Steg all the way back down to P6 when he may well have been on for a race win, but Alphonse, under the safety car restart, never got touched, out in front. Super stuff from him. Certainly from a battery, keeping that battery up high enough to make sure he could defend on that final lap. What a superb race from the debutant.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And I think it was Oscar Piastri that got the I think he got the P3 there. So we're just waiting for these guys to jump into the comms box. I'm just waiting for the comments to come through. Just wanted to see who was the third person for driver of the day. Not really hearing anything at the moment. Oh, Spinella. All right, so the third option was Spinella. So we'll take it to a comms vote. But first of all, we'll just go through. Alfonso Vine and Nail Gio taking IP1, P2. Oscar Piastri taking IP3. Spinella King there just misses out there on that P3, takes P4. Going all the way down the bottom there. And unfortunately, we lost Zesify and Maraki. I think we lost Zesify right at the end there, which was unfortunate. But what a great night of racing that was tonight. Andy, who do you believe that deserved driver of the day, my friend?
It's a real big tussle, actually, I think. The obviously, the two guys out in front in Alphonse and now, but Oscar Piastri and Spinella King, those were two sensational drives from those two guys. So I'd probably, rather than picking the winner and being boring, I'd probably pick the guys who finished third or fourth.
Okay, let's just see if this person can jump in. And you jump into the comms box because we're waiting on P3 at the moment. Okay. Well, I don't know if we're going to get him in, but first of all, we'll just see if we can get one of the other guys just to jump in. But first of all, before we do that, Andy, can you give us a bit of an insight of what you thought of tonight's race? A little bit of a summary.
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic race. Obviously the late safety car changed the entire dynamic of the race, but those 4 cars out in front until Jono made that big mistake on lap number 17. It looked like it was going to be a 4-way tussle. It was superb racing from those front 4 for the majority of the night until that mistake from Jono. But in the end, the guys that I thought may well challenge for the win in this race did indeed challenge for the win. Alphonse had shown superb pace throughout qualification, of course. Now Gio, the epitome of consistency over the course of the last couple of weeks, and we know all about his pace. Just super stuff. Really, really pleased to be sat in this comms box and have the privilege of watching these guys race yet again.
Yeah, no, fantastic night ahead it was, and we do have, unfortunately, we don't have the driver of PSG go in. We don't have the TP in, but we do have a fellow engineer that we could probably talk to. So I'll let you take it away with Dynasty Sparrow. He is in the Mercedes to take away P3 of Oscar Piastri's performance. Over to you, Andy.
Yeah, Dynasty, I hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm sure over the course of the last 45 minutes or so, you've had your heart in your mouth on various occasions. But what a drive from Oscar Piastri GOAT that was to get himself up onto the podium.
Yeah, it was. Actually, we didn't engineer him tonight, so he did that all the lone wolf style. But no, he had an absolute terrific race. Kept his nose clean, kept it tidy, and just kept going for really good points. And him and I think Sabena King or something like that, both had really good drives tonight. One in obviously the Visa Cash App as well, coming in P4.
Yeah, for me, I'd actually award them both driver of the day. I agree with your thought process there. I thought they both had outstanding races, kept their noses clean, as you say, kept all the wheels on the car, which is also very important, and pointing in the right direction, and really came to the fore there towards the back end. What does this do? Obviously, you've lost a driver this evening after the incident in the first start. So what does that do for us then moving into the next round? What are your thought process in terms of drivers next week?
So that driver who came in for us was a reserve. Unfortunately, his league, they red flag it after quali. He didn't know, but it still isn't a good reason to take out half the field. So it's really good that we called a red flag when we did. But moving forward, we normally have one of our other Div 2 guys being able to reserve up as well. So we normally rotate them between and then try and give the reserves a shot because we know that unfortunately Div 1 this season hasn't been there's not a lot of drivers to pick from, but it's been good though. Like when it has been racing, we've had really good races. I speak for Texas as well. That race was really good to watch, and obviously this race as well in Belgium.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in terms of things like the overalls as well, that's going to do you, tonight's race is going to do you really good in terms of the overalls, leading obviously after round number 4. So yeah, interesting for you, kicking the week off with some decent points there.
Yeah, it is. We knew going in it would probably be Div 1 was going to be a bit of a struggle, but it's all right though. We've managed to obviously bridge that gap in the other divisions. Our main goal is just to do as well as we can in every single race and to show up each week, which everyone is, and we're all putting in the practice and yeah, getting the job done so far. But we know it's a marathon and not a sprint, so.
Yeah, well, speaking of sprints, we head off to Brazil in Division 1 next week for a sprint round. Obviously, everybody in Belgium this week, which is good. A little bit of potential sharing across the Div 1 and Div 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in terms of setups and strat. But Brazil next week, sprint race. Let's just look ahead to that. What's your thought process on Brazil?
Me personally, I don't like Brazil. Never have. But no, it's for everyone else. So I believe the rest of the team do really good there. I believe Vettel last season did really good, or I think it was Tyler, one of the two. But now we're looking just to bring our A game each week and just try and improve week in, week out, and yeah, give these reserves a chance as well. It's always good to see new faces on the grid, as we saw the Kick Sauber was his first race of the season, I believe.
Yeah.
And he did really well.
Making his debut, did very well, of course, taking the win. We do have 5 more races to go this weekend, and again, being top of the standings, you've already mentioned that the rest of the division's been bridging the gap. What's your hopes for the rest of the divisions? Where can you see you picking up some wins over this weekend and next week?
I think we've got a really good chance in Div 4. Myself and Pep, we work together really, really well. So probably look to see us hopefully on the podium, but if not, pretty close behind. I think Div 5, they're starting to get gelling together well again, and also our Div 2 and Div 3 lineup are really good. That's not to say Div 6 is going well as well, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see where we all come.
So, in the answer to that question, then, pretty much you think you're going to do well in all divisions. I like the confidence. I like the confidence. It's very good. Well, good luck for the rest of this this round across those other 5 divisions. I'll hand you back over to SJ.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, Dynasty, mate. Thanks for jumping in. What a night for Piastri. How did he feel going into the race? He obviously hasn't raced quite a lot this season compared to last season. He has, obviously, due to probably commitments and other bits and pieces. And Division 1 is a bit of a mixture at the moment, but we've got some seriously quick guys in here. What we've seen tonight, was this a track that Piastri was looking forward to?
Yeah, it certainly was. Like he's been a really good pickup this season. Going into it, he's just really good at racing, keeps it clean, keeps it tidy, keeps out of problems, which is good to see. And yeah, tonight, as he showed, his pace here is pretty good. So probably expect to see him up there tomorrow if it's a clean and tidy race. So, but yeah, he's a good driver. He definitely deserved the podium tonight.
Yeah, no, he did an absolutely fantastic job after what happened early on with only one solo Mercedes, which can hurt you massively. Obviously, having those two cars on the track scoring big points, but no, a great night for Mercedes and for Oscar Piastri, and he'll definitely be chuffed. And the rivalry still continues between Mercedes and McLaren, and it just keeps getting more spicier and spicier each week.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's always good battles between us and the McLarens, and every other person as well. Like myself and Pep had really good battles with the Kicks in round 1, and then now we've had it with the Astons as well. So it's good to see a variety of different people actually putting it on the podium or putting it up for wins. So,
well done. That's what I'm going to say on that one, and we'll see what happens with Mercedes and the Division 2 and Division 4 race tomorrow.
Thanks, mate. All the best.
Cheers. All right, well, we'll go over to P2 of Niall. I'll take this one away and then I'll let you go, Andy. Niall, mate, welcome to the comms box. There's 2 races now, mate, that you've raced with us, which is really good. Can you keep racing some more, mate? Because that was some phenomenal action tonight in quali and in the race.
Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear, mate.
Oh, good. But yeah, I mean, going into today, I think Spa was one of the more confident tracks. So I decided, okay, let's have a shot, and then shot paid off. I mean, claimed another podium. It's good for Red Bull, obviously. They're super happy with that. But yeah, I mean, it's just a good race overall.
It is. It is. And obviously, you reserved last week, Singapore. You obviously seeming to reserve for Red Bull every week, which is it's going to be interesting. Obviously, I think David is pretty hot on you, and wants you to probably get into that Division One seat, which is I know is difficult because obviously you're halfway around the world. But we really appreciate you jumping in and getting involved. What did you feel of the battle tonight between you, Alfonso, and Alpha Gully?
Well, on the instant, I'm going to be honest, it felt like I've loaded on the wrong setup. I mean, it didn't feel correct at all. I think, I don't know what happened, but I'll just have to look into it because it didn't feel right at all. So, but yeah, I mean, onto the medium stint though, that it felt way more confident. The setup started to work. It felt like it's like a switch turned on. And like just gained like all that confidence and was able to battle them and stay with them close and make pounces at the right moment.
Well, you definitely did, and they're absolutely phenomenal. And look forward to seeing more and more racing like that every week. So I'll pass you over to Andy and see if he's got any questions for you.
Yeah, for sure. Niall, I said before, the epitome of consistency. I've seen you racing for a long time. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here in Rush Racing League as well. 2 races, 2 good positions. Off to Interlagos for a sprint weekend next weekend. Are you going to come back? Are you going to be jumping in a seat and making the most? That'll be your 3rd appearance next week, and sure you'll be eligible for a full-time seat at some point, won't you, SJ?
He's eligible now, but he doesn't want it.
Let's get him.
I know, but no, I'll have to let him take that one away.
I mean, it's not one of the tracks I particularly fancy, so I'll have to see about that one. But I would have to do, to be fair, a lot of work. I mean, part of the reason I did well today was because I had another race this week, in fact, at Belgium. But right. I never do races at Interlagos, apart from WOR, so I'll have to see about that one, if I can get my confidence back up, and I'll try maybe to come. But yeah, I mean, 2 good results in 2 races, quite happy about it already.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. Interlagos is a tough track. Plenty of elevation changes, of course, certainly through Sector 2. Couple of quick straights in terms of DRS, and that obviously Sector 2 is the technical part with undulations, twists and turns. It does make it incredibly difficult. And personally, it's one of my favourite tracks. I seem to race in divisions where people make a lot of mistakes, which helps me out quite nicely. But I imagine that it will be one heck of a tussle next week. Certainly with the sprint as well. In terms of the results so far, so we're only 5 rounds in. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Plenty of rounds left to go. Can you challenge Alpha Gully for this title?
Oh, I mean, because I don't know. To be honest, Alpha Gully himself, he's a very fast and consistent driver, so it's going to be quite a challenge to beat him. But I mean, if I put in the hours, we could be having a nice tussle over the season. It's not
the reason I say that, obviously, it's only a couple of races, so you're still quite a long way behind in terms of points. But all it takes is, there's plenty of races left to go. All it takes is a few wins, and Alpha Gully, even if he's finishing 2nd or 3rd on the podium, you're eking out the points difference there.
Yeah, in leagues, so I mean, we'll see. I'll take a look at the next few races and see how I feel, because if I need to do a lot more work on the setup, because yeah, I mean, we'll see. To be honest, I'm not sure of whether I
like it. I like it now. You're as per usual. You're very understated and humble. We like that from you. But yeah, keep going, my friend, and good luck if you're joining us next week at Interlagos.
Yeah, cheers.
Okay, well, still undecided there, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the when the chicken goes out straight after this stream. But we will be going on board with someone else who has finally made an appearance. It's only taken him 5 weeks, and I think with Matif is probably pretty happy with obviously not removing you from a full-time seat. Alfonso, mate, you showed some serious pace out there tonight, and looks like we've been missing you for quite some time. Can you do this every week, or is this just one of your favourite tracks?
I've been doing lots of practice, so if I keep doing that, I can do this every week.
Are we going to see you every week?
Yeah, if I wake up.
Set a bloody alarm, mate. We want to see more of that racing because that was incredible. I want to talk to you about the softs. Due to obviously the safety car coming out at the end, which I bet you probably went, oh shite, because that put the pressure on. It looked like it was going to be a great battle between you two on the softs. I think it was you and Garris, Jono in the Ferrari, and then obviously you had Gully and Niall on the mediums. Do you believe that them softs would have taken you to the end of the race, or do you think it would have been a pretty hard ask?
Yeah, of course. I've been testing them all week, seeing how hard they could go. And it was also a lighter fuel load, so yeah, works better.
Yeah, well, I think it was a fantastic night. Obviously, Andy was saying earlier on to Niall, it's Interlagos next week. Big points up for grabs in the sprint. How are you feeling around Brazil? Is it a track that you enjoy? Is it a fan favourite of yours, or is it not one of your fan favourites?
Yeah, I don't really like Brazil. I'm not particularly quick there, but if I practice enough, I think probably could be up there.
Another thing as well, there's been a lot of stuff going on regarding obviously Kick Sauber, with obviously a few drivers and bits and pieces. Do you believe that that's put beside your team now, and you're concentrating on moving forward because you've seriously got some drivers that can score some big points for you tonight, and also Keefe getting into the points as well. Are you feeling that this is onwards and upwards for Kick Sauber?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Andy, I'll pass you over to you.
Yeah, Alphonse, super stuff tonight, mate. Well done. Super drive, super win. Controlled that safety car restart impeccably over that final 3 laps, including, really stretching back to those guys chasing you down to certainly have a big enough gap. Plenty of battery management as well, which was good to see. You talk about practice. I just want to ask you a quick question on that. You talk about practice, and I think this is something for everybody else to listen into here. How much practice do you put in a week in terms of number of laps you think you've driven around Spa to practice for this race?
It really depends on how much I like the track. If I like it, I'm gonna do more.
Yeah, for sure. And this was one of your good tracks, was it, at Spa?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell by the certainly from the qualification session, from the race. You say next week Brazil, not such a favourite. Couple of opportunities to score points in both sprint and main feature race, but not a track that you're favourite. So you'll do less practice this week.
I don't know, probably.
Well, good luck either way, my friend. Very understated. Again, sounds like you're an incredibly humble individual. So congratulations on your race win this evening, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Okay, obviously not much said. Excuse me, from Alfonso. Obviously a really good start there, Andy, for Kick, for himself, obviously driving tonight for the first time. And obviously we've been missing that racing because there was some fantastic racing apart from the red flag. Started to mellow out a little bit, didn't it? And then obviously we had the exciting part, as always, as a safety car on the last lap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was all gearing up to be a real hard 4-car tussle over the course of the final 3 or 4 laps until Jono had that moment going through where was he coming out of? I think he was coming out of Curve Paul Frere, wherever it was. Anyway, he had that mistake, which
that name,
put everybody back together again.
That corner that you just said,
no name corner. One of those corners, anyway. he had himself the moment, and it obviously brought more cars into the mix, which made for an exciting finish. But again, another phenomenal race. Another new driver crossing the line first. So it's really turning into a season where we've got, anybody could possibly win this. We know that Alpha Gully, again, another driver who demonstrates consistency, but that mistake from him tonight as well, that 3-second penalty dropping him all the way back down to, I believe it was P6. So just an opportunity for some of the others around him to sneak a couple of points back in. And if I look at the standings, Chandler's Kalki wasn't here this week. Obviously, we got Jono a few points back as well. So there's plenty of opportunity for drivers in this division to begin to get up alongside Alpha Gully, Wojciech, and really begin to give us a superb second half of the season. Only 5 rounds in, of course. Plenty of rounds left to go. So it's anyone's, mate.
Yeah, no, it's starting to become like that. Obviously, Gully is obviously dominating out the front at the moment, but you put a little bit of pressure on him. You put Alfonso, Niall, and obviously Lucas as well, who he did his best tonight in McLaren, and a few more. Unfortunately, that weren't here tonight. You add that up, then you've really got a really competitive grid. Which is really good to see, and obviously the top 4 tonight were phenomenal. There was hardly anything in it. Very early on, Alfonso did make the breakaway, but then that started to die down because obviously he didn't pit. We were looking at it, seeing how many people can go to the end, and they actually hadn't pit, so that changed things up a bit. And obviously the battles in the midfield as well, and Division 2 drivers jumping in as well, which is helping. Which is really, really good to see. There's a bit of it's a bit uneven, which is nice. You don't want those people that are going to sail away and win every single race. It gets a little bit boring after a while. So you want to try and mix it up a little bit. And unfortunately, Division 1 drivers at the moment are extremely difficult to get hold of. There's lack of interest in playing the game. The reason why the esports drivers are playing at the moment is because they're playing for a massive bragging rights and a big, huge prize pool. But they've got a massive break going into that now. 25th of March, they're not back. So a lot of time to prep for them. But no, it is hard to get Division 1 drivers, and when you get them on the grid, it's fantastic racing. And we've seen that, and we've seen Gully. He's performed very well tonight, and tonight's race he's been outperformed by Alfonso. Probably due to a little bit of an incident with that penalty. And I think McLaren will look at that, and they'll look back at that, and they'll think that's a mistake. They've lost themselves big points there, because I think they were in the prime time opportunity there of getting a podium or even a P2 or even getting the win. We could have seen that at the end, but it is what it is. Belgium is obviously a great track. The toe is very impressive there. The straight line speed with the DRS, so a lot of places, a lot of aggressive fighting very early on that we saw. But then when it started to mellow out, it was a great race to watch, and always good again, isn't it, to see a different winner?
Yeah, another new winner. And by the way, I know Div 1 drivers are tough to get hold of, but props to the Div 2 guys who've stepped up over the course of the last couple of weeks. There's been some superb drives from those guys, and I think not only doing a good job for Div 1, but doing a great job for the team principals as well. And it's nice to see that there is some good team working, some good camaraderie developing across each and every single team. There'll be some teams that do better than others, of course. But really good to see the Div 2 guys stepping up and really kind of challenging in Div 1. It's fantastic to see, and I hope to see more of it as the season progresses.
Yeah, no, definitely looking forward to it. And obviously next week we will be going live at Brazil for the first sprint weekend of Division 1. So I'm looking very, very forward to that. Remember, there is more racing to go. We have got Division 2 and Division 4 tomorrow night. I'm just going to put a little message in the chat to say what we've got going on. Big up to all of our followers as well tonight. Thank you very much for following in Smad92. Thank you very much. You've just joined and we're just about to finish up. Manny26 Mac, thank you very much for the follow as well. We've got a few customer relations. Thanks for the bits. And also again for the bits. Resubbed for 20 months at tier 1. Really appreciate that. Jordan Masterlin 08, thank you very much for the follow. Mr. Rich EV 9714, thank you very much as well. And also, round 1 in season 9 is going to be Jeddah. Due to the track selection that Dynasty Sparrow has used 100,000 of his channel points to choose round 1 of season 9. So that is the biggest breaking news that we've had, and thank you very much for the subscription there from yourself, Andy. Really appreciate that.
Always a pleasure.
And for you, jumping in as always by my side for Division 1 action early in the morning for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. You know, I can do most weeks, which is good. I am coming up to a period of time where I'm going to be in the process of moving house, so I might miss a little bit of time while I get my setup and everything moved across to my new place, but I'll be back as quickly as I possibly can. Won't be for another 3 or 4 weeks just yet, but yeah, I'll be back as soon as I can. I can't miss out on calling these races with you, SJ. It's one of the highlights of my week.
Oh, mate, that means a lot. That means a lot. And hopefully we'll see if we're going to get placed together again next season for WLR. You know, get full season under our belt.
Well, WR, we talk about drivers are difficult to come by. WR in the console tiers that you and I commentate on, they are going down to a single tier.
Wow.
In the console division, I believe. So plenty of opportunity for drivers who would normally want to race around there to get involved in other leagues. And I'm pretty sure that we'll be trying to see if any of those guys who want to keep racing want to jump over here to Rush in the downtime between WR season number 20 and season 21, which will be on the new game cycle, I would have thought. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how we can hopefully get some time together. I'd love to do a tier 1 race with you in WOR on a Friday night, I believe it would be.
Morning for me, my friend. It'll be morning.
Yes. Well, it'd be Saturday morning for you.
Yeah. No, Friday. Yeah, we'll be over Friday morning. Yeah. Well, we have to wait and see, you know, and that just gives us a little bit of a, you know, like heads up on that we were doing a fantastic job. You know, six divisions. We don't know what's going to happen with 25. You know, so it's going to be very interesting to see there. And if that does, they make a brilliant game, then there's going to be so many people that are going to want to play the game, which then could push us up to a 7th division. I'm not counting them chickens yet, and hopefully that doesn't the case, because I haven't got any more days in the week, you know, and no more commentators. But no, everything is going so well. I'm looking forward to the remainder of the season. We do have a break coming up very, very soon, because Melbourne is just around the corner for the real Formula 1 at 25. As you did see the other day, Williams have released the F327, I think it is, or F427. The Williams have released their new livery, and in the next few days you will see Haas release theirs. So get amongst all the socials as well, on our socials, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also our biggest one is our Discord. So if you want to get involved with some of these Division 1 drivers, get yourself checked in, get yourself signed up. We'll put yourself into the reserve program, and we will put yourself, and you may even be ready for Brazil next week. So get yourself in the mix for it. But until then, we are going to be back with more action tomorrow night with Division 2 and Division 4. Standing up first with Division 4. I'm sure it's going to be a great night of racing at Belgium. And last, before we go, big up to our main sponsor this season, AR369. Feel free to click on the link in the comments below and get amongst it. And also to our other sponsors in Pagny and SimLab, and also New Zealand only if you are a Kiwi of Speed Nation. Just want to say as well, there has been a massive contribution of people getting amongst Pagnian and using the affiliate code. Really appreciate that. I've had a few emails back from obviously Pagnian to say they appreciate that as well. So keep doing that. If you still want a discount on any sim racing gear, Fanatec, Moser, Next Level Racing, get amongst it, or just message me in the chat and I'll give you the code. But until then, we have a new winner for Division 1. Who is going to win in Brazil? Good night.